When I came to Port Adelaide, I received a big shock. That early 1948 type of friendship to people still exists here. I'd be walking down the street, and after becoming somewhat hardened through the way the big cities develop in recent years, and someone would just say good morning or good afternoon to me as they walked past, and I'd look around to see who it was. It was someone I knew and just didn't recognise them. Instead of that, it was a total stranger. The way this scheme has come together, it has created an intense friction between the community, the state government and the developers themselves. And that is a very, very regrettable thing. But to let it fester on until the stage is today that the feeling in the community is so strong and so anti-government, anti-developer, that I'm really, really worried about it.
Public consultation has happened, but it's always, to us, seemed like they've made their minds up and are just going through the motions of.
Yeah, their version of that's exactly right. We'll go to a meeting that they'll say is public consultation, but it's just them informing us of what they've already decided. Or you get a choice between this horrible thing or that horrible thing. Which one do you want? What if you don't want either?
I really feel that the developers are missing one of the golden opportunities, because to me they seem to be throwing the baby out with the bathwater. The reason people come to the port is to see a port. The things that could leave this place vibrant and interesting are being ditched with carelessness, I think.
We really needed to come up with an iconic building in the port that really represents the aspirations and the, if you like, the feeling of the community through their arts and their culture, a sense of place, give a sense of interconnectedness between people. All that needed to happen, and of course the Harts Mill, built on the bend of the river, has always been a meeting place throughout Indigenous culture, because it's built on a shell midden Harts Mill. It's where the Indigenous groups had come to eat over years and years and years, share knowledge, share experiences, stories, laughter. And so the Harts Mill now, in our lifetimes, should also be a place to share knowledge and come together in celebration of life.
And we thought, well, that would be the perfect place for an arts centre and a community garden, Indigenous interpretive centre, could all be housed in this fantastic spot.
Many consultants have come through here over the past year. They have many consultants come through here, and as soon as they see Harts Mill, they say, that's the one, that's your building.
That's your icon.
That's your icon for the community. Well, of course, that doesn't augur well with the developers or the state government. It
was a prime requirement that incorporated into the scheme were interesting things for people to do. So they had it all here in the community close together. And that, the way the scheme has come together, has been totally overlooked and not incorporated into the scheme. And it's developing as a very sterile environment.
That's the issue. They want to make it into apartments so they could sell them really, for big bucks to rich people. We don't want that, because that means it's out of bounds for normal, everyday people.
At the moment, it is one of the tallest iconic buildings in the port. But as the development progresses, we're going to find that we've got 4 12-storey buildings being designed to take prominent place on the inner harbour, which will overshadow anything that that wonderful building once had.
There were a lot of things that were overlooked that should not have been overlooked. The Kaurna people were totally overlooked. The traditional landowners, they have not been incorporated into the scheme at all. The removal of the heritage and history buildings in the area the government has given the developer permission to put the new buildings up in. They should never have been touched, and what is left must not be touched. And I'm really at a loss to understand the government giving the developer permission to remove the history of the port to erect new accommodation units on.